What's Gucci, guys? So today we're going to be talking about ESFP stereotypes. I'm going to be debunking that. So I did something that no other brave man ever did. I went to 16personalitiestype.com and I decided to use that as my source for knowledge. Of course, it did not end well, and now I have PTSD. But I was reading this ESFP profile and I thought to myself the strengths and weaknesses, and I thought to myself, this really looks like a mistyped ESFJ. Right? Enthusiasm, making sure everyone's feeling good, conflict averse, and again, encouraging people, welcoming everyone, yay, lol, all kinds of shit. So I'm like, this is just an ESFJ. So the first stereotype would be ESFPs are shallow and they have no depth. As a sensing type, you're not supposed to like to have any kind of depth. You're not supposed to enjoy deeper conversations, enjoy meaningful conversations about the other person or yourself. Anything like that, right? Question shit. You're supposed to be a fucking NPC. Hey, so, that's how ESFPs are supposed to be like. Hey, what's the nail polish? Ha ha ha. Yeah, how many times did you jack off yesterday? That's the level that we're at. Bruce Lee is an ESFP. And of course, what happened to Bruce Lee? He got decapitated by thinking bias, right? He's an ISTP because he's so philosophical and smart. Now the second stereotype would be sanguine, happy-go-lucky party animals. And you see this shit everywhere, right? Yay! LOL! And that's what they do, right? It's the crazy bitch. She's stripping. She's showing her fucking tits to everyone. She is an ESFP. Because how could she be anything else? It's the sanguine type. While in reality, an ESFP is a choleric type. They're action-oriented, and they're much more serious than what you would expect from an actual sanguine dominant person. I'm not saying they can't have fun. I'm not saying they can't be funny because they still have sanguine blend, but generally, they're going to be more serious. They're going to be more action-oriented. They're going to be more blunt. And no, not every person is going to be a fucking party animal. I'm sure you're going to find some ESFPs that are more drawn to people, who can like a little party, who can have fun with it, and some ESFPs who might not be as interested in going around and slapping their cock on the fucking table in a random fucking club. So it just depends on the individual. Third stereotype that I've actually taken from the 16personalities.com website is actually mind-blowing. So they're conflict averse, right? Because they don't want to tell the truth to people. They want to make sure everyone gets along, and they want to make sure that it's all good because they're scared of conflict. Which is literally, again, you're just the most FE dominant shit I've ever read in my life. Adherence to the external. Conforming. That's what it is. ESFPs can be very charismatic. They can be very charming. They can even know how to have fun, right? They can be even light at times. But this is not a person who their whole personality tries to avoid conflict, tries to make sure you're happy and he'll slurp you off, give you a cock massage. This is not an ESFP. So it's more likely a person that's going to really tell you how they feel about different things or what they think about different things. They're going to be very open and expressive of whatever comes into their mind. That is more likely to be an ESFP, not someone who is make sure that you're just not going to be upset. Well, if you're upset, you're upset. I mean, maybe that's the truth. Maybe it needs to be said. Maybe even for your own betterment, maybe for your own good, the truth needs to be said. Maybe someone is a twat. Maybe someone's a cunt. So are you just going to pretend? Are you just, what? There's a limit to this. You're going to fucking be like, yeah, he is a twat. Or maybe it's your friend. So you're going to be honest with them. You're going to say to them what the you think. And if there's conflict, there's conflict. You're going to take it head on because that's what you do. Because you are an SE dominant type. You are not a fucking FE dominant type. You're not concerned about the emotional atmosphere and making sure people fucking receive you a certain way. That's not the point. That's not the point at all. That's not to say also an ESFP can adapt to the friend. Of course, they are quite aware of such things and attuned to their personal relations. But that doesn't mean it's going to be a person who's going to be fake. You're going to make sure be like Logan Paul slurping everyone. That's what Logan Paul does. He slurps everyone. Literally. And people think that's a fucking ESFP. In fact, I used to think that. Thank you. Thank you, Socionics. Thank you so much of my Socionics knowledge. Really, thank you guys. A serial cock slurper who simply wants to adapt to everyone. Has no real opinion and hides it just so he can be accepted by his fan base. That's what we're dealing with. That's an ESFP. Of course, that's bullshit. The next one would be they're very theatrical, overly emotional, and histrionic. Now, this is the tricky one. Because you can argue they can be emotional. That's true. They can be theatrical. Yeah, right? What I'm trying to say here is that for the ESFP, emotionality, despite what many people think, is really just something that runs in the background. Okay? They can be emotional, yes, but as an SE dominant type, that's not the way of their cognition. They're not really focused on that. So if you have a person constantly focusing on feelings, emotions, how do I make people feel, how people make me feel, I make sure everyone feels, as long as you can see this circle jerking, you're not dealing with an actual genuine ESFP because they are SE dominant. Think Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor has many moments when he got emotional, he got angry, he was spurging. That's kind of okay. You can kind of see this with someone like that, and it's true. But he doesn't really. That's not really something that he's focused on or anything like that. Just okay, he feels a certain way. He goes with it. A real ESFP, from what I've observed, usually will get mistyped as an ENTJ or ESTP. It's a common pattern. And that's what you guys need to understand. The FI can be quite cold even. The FI can be quite stoic even, can be quite cold and indifferent to people. That's even how Jung describes this. So it's not really, doesn't have to be overly expressive and happy-go-lucky and warm. It can be cold, it can be, hardened. So of course there's other stereotypes like, ESFPs can be interested in theory, ESTPs can be interested in typology because that's too intellectual. Now that's a low bar for intellectualism. I do admit, if typology is what you consider intellectual, it's a pretty fucking low bar. Anyway guys, if you have any other stereotypes about ESFPs, comment down below, and that's it from me. I'm gonna go eat chicken. Bye, ciao, see you, catch you later.